Today, it's the National Football League. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we reach Week 15 and we've got a good matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A huge play there right off the bat.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Fullback try and push the pile. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
And no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator, asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion...
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance, rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Second and 20. From the gun, Metcalf. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the give, this is their fullback.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And it is now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Finding some room at midfield, and he'll take this down to the 40-yard line.
I have to admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Metcalf, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And they get him down, but not before he... takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, Metcalf. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Open man here is Gentry. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A good return there, 17 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now Richardson throwing on 1st down. Going up top. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Metcalf, his throw incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
2nd and 10.
58, right over there. Right up. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the screen. Pass.
Back to throw. Metcalf. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
when you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're doing like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing on first down. Metcalf over the middle, complete. It's Ortiz. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Fights him off. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
To throw on second down. Metcalf. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. And the Bengals on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. He finds his man, complete. That's Ortiz. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Metcalf. He'll get this to Ward. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll try the left side. Norman. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Metcalf over the middle, completes this to Ward. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On first down, it's Norman. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go, baby. Turn up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. but a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force 4th and goal.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a conservative decision there, but it does put them on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. This offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something, and that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe, but that's much easier said than done.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 49 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. He finds his man, complete. That's Norman. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. This time they stay on the ground, and this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. The Falcons locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that one to the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the...
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And take it right on the 30. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth. Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
4 yards remain for second down. They run the counter. Turner. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Cotton. And for the moment, this will be a first down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
On 3rd down, Keenan. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. A leap in. He's got it. He got it. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try again, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season, and the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Looking to throw on second down. Metcalf, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On third down, Norman, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norman, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Metcalf. He finds his man. Complete. That's Bishop. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
They'll run on 1st down. Cotton able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down now, it's Turner. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
14's the mic. 14's the mic. Here we go. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Panther 60.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Back to throw. Metcalf. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. To throw on third down. Metcalf. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Let's go. Cowboy
80. Offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. And they give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cotton, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Short pass caught by the tight end Gentry. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. Standing just about on his own goal line. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Still going. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On 1st down, Cotton. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
You want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Metcalf. And that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Metcalf. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Miami set to take over. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.